Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great show for you here today between the San Francisco Giants and the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes, so let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Sunday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, outfielder stud Jung-Hoo Lee. And on the right, the most clutch hitter on the Mariners in the 7th inning and beyond, Cole Clutch Young, with a big 3-run homer when we were down 3-0 there in the 7th. And again, fantastic progression for this future all-star Cole Young. Now let's get into the starting lineups first for the visiting San Francisco Giants. Leading off for the Giants at second base, Luis Arraez. Batting second, DHing for San Francisco, Bryce Eldridge. Batting third, playing third base, Casey Schmidt. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, Rafael Devers. Batting fifth, playing left field, Elliot Ramos. Batting sixth, playing right field, Jung-Hoo Lee. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Willie Adames. Batting eighth, playing center field, Grant McCray. And batting ninth, catching today for the Giants, Drew Kavanaugh. And on the mound for the Giants, the former Seattle Mariner, 8-6 record, ERA of 3.38. It is Robbie Ray. And now let's get into the starting lineup for yours, Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at third base, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, back in center field. Welcome back. It's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Game-winning sac fly, scoring Robles from third last night after being down 3-0 and coming back all the way, winning 4-3 in extras. Great job, J-Rod. Batting third, the MVP last night, second baseman Cole Clutch Young, the highest in the batting order that he's ever been, and well-deserved. Great job, Cole. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, DHing today for Seattle, big dumper Cal Raleigh. Batting sixth, playing first base, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting seventh, catching today for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Batting eighth, playing right field, Weston Wilson. And batting ninth, the shortstop phenom, Cole Emerson, making that amazing play, keeping that runner obviously at second base and coming down with that big bunt, moving Robles over. He may have been struggling a little bit in the box, but he still makes an impact with his defense and other processes of the game. Great job, Cole. And on the mound for the Mariners, our hottest pitcher at the moment, not named Bryce Miller, 7-6 record, ERA of 3.32. It is Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. And based on how Bryce has pitched as of late, this might be our number one pitcher at the moment today. Let's go, Walter. Let's go, Logan. We need a fantastic performance to be able to win the series. And then we got an amazing series starting tomorrow against L.A. de la Cruz and the Cincinnati Reds. Only 1.5 games back from the Rangers, so I know we can get there in the next couple days. Try dance up. Let's go, M's. We're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on that dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Great to be able to see Julio Rodriguez finally back in center field. Had a little tough start in those first 4 at-bats, kind of getting the rhythm, playing DH as they kind of ease him in slowly after the concussion. But this is the first time that we're going to have the no-fly zone in full effect, and I am very excited about that. Let's go, baby. Peter in the building, what's good? Robert in the building, what's good? Let's go. Let's go, baby. Rocking the steelhead jerseys today. A very simple but clean look. And again, this should be very interesting, again, because we are going to be going against Robbie Ray, our former Seattle Mariner pitcher. And, Robbie obviously, had some issues at the very end of his run, and we all know what happened with Robbie. But again, he has been very impressive since leaving Seattle. He's actually been a pretty damn good pitcher for the Giants, and I've always wanted to get another lefty. And again, we're going to get Cade Anderson, sooner than later. But again, even though, Robbie ended up giving up a very big home run at kind of the end of his tenure with the Mariners. Overall, he's a pretty damn good pitcher in his career. And again, this isn't going to be easy, but hopefully we can get the job done. And again, we've had Jamie Moyer and a few of those others, but I can't wait, for a guy like Cade Anderson to join the team. Rebecca in the building, what's good? Tony in the building, what's good? Nathan in the building, what's good? Let's go. Got to win the series, got to win the game. And again, being a Mariner fan isn't easy. Again, you got to be mentally tough. You got to be strong, and again, it's real easy to get negative, in life, as well as being a Mariner fan and whatnot. But again, you just have to be able to believe that more times than not, we're going to be able to come back. And again, I know, we haven't been hitting up to our standard. And, when you get down 3-0 after getting blasted 7-0 the day before, a lot of people lose hope. But you just got to be able to believe in the Mariners. First pitch is high and away, 1-0 count. 97 mile an hour fastball, high and away. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luis Arise. All day in the building, what's good? 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luis Arise. I agree, Peter. Sean in the building. Salute to the dog fathers in the building. Paisley's on the couch, stretched out, waiting for Dad to finish. And hopefully we'll have a victory walk after the game. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Great job there by Logan Gilbert, and he's probably our number 1 right now. Obviously Bryce Miller has been pretty damn good. Wu and Kirby have kind of underwhelmed this season. Hancock has improved from last year, and Castillo is dead last. He'll be a trade candidate at the deadline. But again, Logan starting off the season 0-2, and now steadily creeping up. And I think right now he is our number 1 pitcher. And again, Bryce, obviously, once he can get his rhythm down, he's right there. He's probably slid down just 1 spot, but you got to give Logan credit. He's been playing well as of late. Eldridge, back, and gone. And that's not exactly what we want to be able to see, but hopefully that'll be the only home run that Logan Gilbert gives up. And Eldridge has been obviously very good against the Mariners in this particular series. Obviously, we know Jung-Hoo Lee has been very good, as well as Willie Adames has homered in back-to-back games. And luckily, it was just a solo dinger. 1-0 San Fran. 98 mile an hour four-seam fastball to Eldridge, and he crushed it. Next up, in the 3-hole, third baseman Casey Schmidt. On deck is Rafael Devers. And that just means the Mariners are going to have to respond sooner than later. And again, I know that we can get runs on the board. First pitch to Schmidt. Pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. I agree, Peter. If Cal can start to get in a rhythm, it definitely changes kind of the overall outlook of the team. Jack in the building, what's good? KW in the building, what's good? 1-0 pitch. High and inside, almost hitting Schmidt. 2 balls and no strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the first inning, 1-0 San Fran. Solo dinger by Eldridge, but again, nothing to worry about. It's not like we're, down 3-4, 5-0. And even when we do get down 3-4, 5-0, we can still come back. We've done it many, many times this season. 2-0 pitch, popped up and out of play. But obviously the magic number for the Mariners will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And if we hit that number with decent pitching, more times than not, that's a victory. And again, if Logan can give up 3 runs or less, that should give our bullpen a good chance to be able to clean the game up at that point, hopefully. But the bats need to come alive here today. 2-1 pitch, little line drive towards third. And it rolls past JP and Colt Emerson into left field to Randy Arozarena. We have a very good day record, for the Seattle Mariners. So, again, it's not ideal, to give up a home run in the first inning, but again, I'm very confident that we can win the series and win this game today. Hawks in the building. What's good? Let's go. All right, next up is Rafael Devers. So let's see if we can get a double play up the middle to end this inning to bail out Logan. First pitch, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 1-0 count. And again, the most runs that we typically can come back from is 5. If we get down by 3, 4, 5 runs, we can still come back. But anything above 5, usually that's kind of the breaking point, so to speak. Pitch fouled off back to the T-Mobile bricks there by Devers. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and 1 out. Top of the first inning, 1-0 Giants. Solo dinger by Eldridge with a 99-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball down the middle. Got crushed off Gilbert, but I'm not worried. Gilbert and Miller are our top 2 guys at the moment. Hopefully Kirby and Wu will follow. And a little bit of a wild throw by Cal Raleigh. Thankfully, Colt Emerson gets that on the stolen bag attempt, and he is safe. And we have a 1 ball and 2 strike count here with a runner at second with 1 out. One-two pitch, fouled off there with the four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at second and 1 out. Top of the first, 1-0 San Fran. And I really love the new kind of style, with the cutoff hoodies with no sleeves. It's a very, very good look. 1-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. And they're starting to make, a little bit more of those, not only for, the NBA, but for the NFL and obviously primarily baseball as well. Something that they should have been making years ago, but it's starting to finally catch on. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. There we go. Down goes Devers, and that is 2 away. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. You just got to be able to stop the bleeding, so to speak, after you give up a home run. Great job there by Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. Down goes Devers. Next up is Elliot Ramos. On deck is Jung-Hoo Lee, who's had a very productive series against the Mariners. First pitch to Ramos, pops him up and out of play. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour, high and inside, tried to jam the hitter and did. 0-1 count. Really excited about this game, as well as our opportunity to go against Ellie De La Cruz starting tomorrow. I believe it's 6:40 Pacific. Make sure you mark your calendars and set your, clocks accordingly. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Ramos. Tried hits up. Let's go, Ems. Beautiful weather here in the Pacific Northwest. 0-2 pitch, little dribbler, just out of reach. And Schmidt is coming home. 2-0 San Francisco. Come on, Logan. Ramos with an RBI single. And again, the offense is going to have to step up, especially if Gilbert's giving up a couple runs early. But hopefully that will be the only runs that he gives up all game. We got to hope. Hopefully he settles down and settles in. Next up, right fielder Jung-Hoo Lee. On deck is Willie Adames. First pitch to Lee is low and away, 1-0 count. Lee, very underrated, batting .304 this season, 5 home runs, 33 ribbies. That first fastball, four seam, low and away, 97 miles an hour there by Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. Inside, not getting the call. 2 balls and no strikes from Gilbert to Lee. Not ideal being down 2-0 early, but it's not like it's anything that we can't come back from. 2-0 pitch. Lee pops it up a mile. We got Julio back in center field, which is exciting. And that'll definitely make a difference for us. And Emerson is there, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the bottom of the first inning. And let's see if we can tie the game up or at least put a run up on the board early. Leading off for the Mariners at third base, J.P. Crawford. Brandon Donovan gets a first rehab start, obviously at second base today, and hopefully that goes well for Donnie. We could definitely use him at third and, as a leadoff hitter in the near future in the next 7 to 10 days. Batting second, back at center field after the concussion. Welcome back, Julio Rodriguez, who had that game-winning sac fly as a DH yesterday. And I'm really excited to be able to have him out there in center field making plays for the no-fly zone and hopefully playing a little bit better than he did yesterday, even though he ended up, starting off 0-4, but got the game-winning sac fly with Robles at third. And batting third, the best clutch player on the Mariners, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Highest that he's ever been in the batting order, well deserved. Trident's up, let's go M's. And after being down 3-0, Cole Clutch Young coming up big. And I'm not surprised. He's my favorite player on the team. I love two-way players, just like him and Julio Rodriguez. And, again, when you can end up doing things like that, it really does make a big difference. And, how good is Cole Young? I'll tell you. All right. With runners in scoring position, just in general, right? 300 batting average, 4 doubles, 1 triple, 5 home runs, 39 ribbies. But when it really matters the most, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, or whenever it may be when we have runners in scoring position with 2 outs, when the game is on the line, he's batting .412. 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 23 ribbies. Nobody on the Mariners is doing that besides Cole Young. And again, he is going to be a future all-star. To me, he's one of the best players on the team already, if not the best. And again, that's saying something. When you got guys like Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh and a lot of these kind of popular names, with Randy and Naylor. But again, and we know how good Dominic Canzone, as well as Luke Raley have, been this season, even though lately some of the guys have been slumping a little bit. But I like guys that can play defense and offense. And the best two, obviously, are Cole Young and Julio Rodriguez in that respect. And Cole has been clutch, and that's why we have him as Cole Clutch Young. First pitch from Robbie Ray, the former Mariner, to J.P. Crawford. Takes a strike looking low and away. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with a slider. 84 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike from Ray to Crawford. Pitches inside with a sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike to J.P. 2-1 pitch, little dribbler, up the middle, throw to first. And that is 1 up and 1 down. Next up is center fielder. Welcome back to the no-fly zone, Julio Rodriguez. And we can always count on Julio making a difference on the squad, just like he did here last night. Great job, J-Rod. First pitch is high and away to Julio, 1-0 count. Matt in the building, what's good? Rebecca in the building, Mike in the building. Robbie Ray on the mound. Julio Rodriguez in the box. Big swing and a miss. Pitch inside, fooling Julio. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ray to Rodriguez. And Robbie's been good after leaving the Mariners. 8-6 record this year, 3.38. He's been pretty damn good for the Giants since leaving Seattle. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. And we'll bust out the Mariner Moose a little early. Normally we don't do it this early, but we need all the luck that we can get. Usually good things happen once the Moose gets on the screen. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 2-1 pitch, foul back to the T-Mobile bricks and the Fred Meyer sign. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 2-0 Giants. Eldridge with a solo dinger up the middle off a 99-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball by Logan. And then Ramos singled the right, scoring Schmidt, who ended up stealing a bag from first to second and getting that RBI. 2-2 pitch. And that is fading foul into right field. Great souvenir for a fan out there. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the first, 2-0 San Fran. Two-two pitch from Robbie Ray. Pitch is low and away. Good take there by Julio. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Ray to Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Three-two pitch. Big swing and a miss. Unfortunately, down goes Julio, and that is 2 away. First punch out there on Julio Rodriguez. Hopefully he'll be able to get some hits here today. And first punch out there for the former Mariner, Robbie Ray. Next up, my favorite player on the team, not named Julio Rodriguez, in the 3-hole, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. Highest that he's ever been in the batting order and well-deserved. First pitch popped up and out of play. 0-1 count. Chris with the tenor. Appreciate you. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you for the hard work. Wish you the best. Thank you so much. And a little dribbler there by Young. And Cole Young hustling to first and getting a single. And again, that shows you how great Cole Young really is, making plays. He's going to be a future all-star year in and year out at second base. No doubt about that. Christakis with the $10 dono. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support very, very much. We're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. Great job there by Cole Clutch Young. Next up is Randy Arozarena. First pitch is a ball from Ray, 1-0 count. Knuckle curve low and at the knees, 81 miles an hour. Throw to first. And Young is safe. On deck is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. One 0 pitch from Ray to Arozarena, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Ray to Arozarena. Now, and again, for me to be able to really, respect a player, I need to be able to see hustle. I need to be able to see effort, but I also need to see consistency. And usually you get that out of only a couple guys so far, Cole Young and Julio Rodriguez. 2-0 pitch. And I do believe Colt Emerson will be one of those guys as well. Obviously, he's already got the defense down. Now it's just about getting the offense going. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Ray to Arozarena. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ray to Arozarena. Two pitch, nice take there by Randy, low and at the knees. Change up missing there by Robbie Ray. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first, Cole Young with 2 outs. Shout out to Christakis with the $10 dono. Appreciate you very much. 3-2 pitch popped up. Little blooper by Randy. And diving grab. Wow. Wow. Jung-Hoo Lee making a grab on his back. Wow. Incredible. And that definitely robbed a chance of Cole Young possibly scoring or, at least getting the third. End of the first inning, 2-0 San Fran. And both guys on the thumb already making plays early. Jung-Hoo Lee and Cole Clutch Young. All right, let's see who's up next here for the San Francisco Giants. Next up for the Giants in the top of the second inning in the 7-hole, shortstop Willie Adames. Batting second in the 8-hole, center fielder Grant McCray. And batting third in the 9-hole, catcher Drew Kavanaugh. Right ends up, let's go M's. 57 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 10 on the dono train because of Christakis and his generosity. 90 to go. Let's see where we're at on the likes here early on as we go to the top of the second inning. All right, we're at 30 likes, 70 to go. '50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40 plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. Every stream, we will dedicate it to the one and the only that is retiring after this season, Rick Riz. We love you. Tridents up. Let's go M's. Gilbert already giving up 3 runs and 2 hits, but hopefully that'll be the only 2 runs he gives up. And again, the offense needs to be able to get going other than Cole Young. Let's go. First pitch from Gilbert to Adames. Low and away, 1-0 count. Most home runs by a shortstop since 2022. Adames is number 1, 134. Corey Seager, Francisco Lindor, Bobby Witt Jr., and Gunnar Henderson after him. And strike call is being challenged there by Adames. And if Young can catch fire, there's a chance that he could end up leading the team in homers before the season is over. He definitely is the most clutch hitter that we have, not only in the 7th inning and beyond, but with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, he's the best. And we need the other players to kind of follow suit. We've got a lot of guys in the last 30 games that have been batting 200 or under, and that's unacceptable. 2-0 pitch, little slow dribbler to JP. Throw to first, and that is 1 up and 1 down. I always get a little worried when I see sidearm throws by anybody. JP, Colt Emerson, Cole Young, just throw traditionally, especially if you're on the run, because sometimes JP is not really accurate with a sidearm throw, regardless if he's on the run or stationary, but makes the play there to Josh Naylor, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Good job, JP. Next up in the 8-hole, center fielder Grant McCray. On deck is Drew Kavanaugh. First pitch to McCray, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. Slider 87 miles an hour. 0-1 count. Sean with a 20. Every dog father, understands, and I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much. $20 holla from one dog father to another. I salute you, and I appreciate you very, very much, more than you know. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. Thank you for the support and anything that obviously that can be done to be able to help me out. Raising, Paisley is definitely much, much appreciated. Going to the vet 3 times in 3 months and having to pay $1,100 really took a hit, in my pocketbook. So thank you so much. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the second, 2-0 San Fran. Two pitch. Big swing and a miss. And that is 2 up and 2 down. First pitch from Gilbert to Kavanaugh, takes a strike looking low and at the knees. 0-1 count. All right, Sean, you definitely have been very, very consistent, with your support. And I do have an opening at the moment, which I usually don't have too many openings and whatnot as far as let's see here. Give me 1 second. And obviously we get Kavanaugh out there. Apologize. I was just trying to get everything situated. But again, I don't usually have too many spots open, for mod responsibilities and whatnot. And usually there's going to be, a couple openings, here and there over the, few months as we progress. And obviously, being consistent, showing the love and support, and obviously the ultimate thing that you can do, to support someone that has a dream, obviously besides liking and chatting and sharing and subbing, is donating to somebody's dream. And congratulations with Sean getting mod status here this afternoon. Appreciate you. You've earned it. Shout out to Chris Staka, shout out to Sean. And let's go now to the bottom of the second inning after we get out Kavanaugh. And let's see if we can get something going here with the next 3 Mariners up to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Next up for the Mariners in the 5-hole, DHing big dumper Cal Raleigh. Batting second in the 6-hole, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. And batting third in the 7-hole, catcher, Mitch Garver. Let's get on the board, Ems. Let's go. Joe in the building. What's good? And on the next chat that you have, Sean, you should see a nice wrench, obviously next to the icon there, next to your username, and I appreciate you. First pitch into Cal Raleigh is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch from Robbie Ray, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ray to Raleigh. One pitch from Ray. Big swing and a miss there by Cal. Knuckle curve, low and at the knees. Count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ray to Raleigh. Big swing and a miss on another knuckle curve. And Cal Raleigh's timing has been off all season long. Hope he ends up getting it together, and that ends up being one away. Next up for the Mariners in the 6th hole, first baseman Josh Naylor. On deck is Mitch Garver. And we don't really expect a whole lot out of Garver or Weston Wilson, but you never know. Sometimes those guys might end up surprising. First pitch into Naylor with a slider, in for a strike, 0-1 count. Bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Giants with nobody on and one out. Only 1.5 games back behind the Texas Rangers, so we're still in a really good position, even though things have gone sideways for a majority of the year. 0-1 pitch in there for a ball from Robbie Ray. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ray to Naylor. Appreciate you. Wrench looks good on you. 1-1 pitch, little blooper there by Naylor, and it drops. There we go. And we haven't seen Naylor do that in quite some time. Great job there by Josh Naylor. Use the leg kick, follow through with your swing, and then 99% of your at-bats won't be slow dribblers up the middle like they have been lately. Good job, Josh. Nice job, Nails. Next up in the 7-hole, catcher Mitch Garver. On deck is Weston Wilson. Appreciate you, Sean. Shout out to Christakis and Sean for getting the Dono train started early. We're at 30, 70 to go. First pitch into Mitch Garver is in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Bottom of the second inning, 2-0 San Fran with a runner at first, Josh Naylor. Great to see him get a hit early. And let's see if Garver can end up taking a walk or getting on base. Obviously not the greatest hitter, for power or for singles. Obviously, we think Johnny Pareda is much better, but the Mariners decided to go with the guy that has a little bit more experience with the team. But, Pareda is the better player. 1-1 pitch and a hard hit ball by Garver. Double play, throw to first. And unfortunately, Garver hits into the double play. And that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 3rd inning and see who's up next here for the Giants. Shout out to our female audience, all of our new subs, all of our regulars, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Next up for the Giants, 0-for-1 with a K, second baseman Luis Arraez. Batting second, 1-for-1 with a run and an RBI. Home run by Bryce Eldridge. And batting third, 1-for-1 with a run, Casey Schmidt. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. $57 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 30 on the Dono train because of the generosity from Sean and Christakis. I appreciate the two of you very, very much, more than you know. And let's see where we're at on the likes here early on as we approach the top of the 3rd inning. And we're at 35, 65 to go. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. And we're going to need the Mariner Moose more than ever today. All right, Logan, you got to settle down and settle in. Next up, 0-for-1 with a K, second baseman Luis Arraez, who's kind of like the modern day Ichiro. He's had the best batting average overall since 2022 than any player. Is always batting above 300, which is really a rarity nowadays. And again, he's not going to hit a whole lot of home runs, but again, Luis Arraez, would be a perfect fit for a leadoff hitter for any team in baseball. First pitch is fouled off, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch with the changeup high and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Arraez. And obviously, we know Arraez is not as good as Ichiro, but at this point, who is? Nobody. Ichiro is a true one of one. But if you're talking about a leadoff hitter that can hit over 300 and do it consistently, there's really only one guy that you can bring up, and that's Luis Arraez. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Arraez. Pitch fouled off there behind the plate. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 3rd inning, 2-0 San Fran. And it doesn't matter what team Arraez plays for, he always produces. Very, very special talent. A 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and Arraez goes down, and I'm happy about that. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. 1 up and 1 down. First time Arraez has struck out twice in a game all year. That shows you how great Arraez truly is. And anybody that bats over 300, let alone closer to 330, it's definitely a tough task. Great job getting Arraez out, striking him out twice in a game, which hasn't been done by any pitcher all season. Nice job, Logan. Next up is Bryce Eldridge. First pitch with the 4-seam fastball in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Now, Ichiro could have hit a lot more home runs if he wanted to, but again, he knew his role to be able to get on base. And obviously when he knew he had to hit for power, he could, but he definitely held back a little bit, and obviously very methodical and mechanical, with his approach and, doing the same thing at every at bat with the, sleeve tug and, great follow through swing. And we will never see another Ichiro Suzuki ever again. Facts. 0-2 pitch. But if we're just talking about a guy that's a leadoff hitter that can bat above 300 consistently, there's no other player really that we've seen besides Arraez that has been able to do it. And especially lately, you don't really see a whole lot of guys batting over 300 in baseball anymore. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Eldridge. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Eldridge, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Arraez plays second base. But if you just go and look up his stats on Google, or if you want to look at, what he's been able to do, obviously no one will ever be Ichiro, but it has been pretty impressive to see what a Luis Arraez has been able to do the last few years. Consistency is king, and there's not very many guys that can be batting over 300 consistently, especially in this day and age of baseball. Next up is Casey Schmidt. First pitch is fouled off behind the plate, 0-1 count. He wouldn't be able to play second over Cole Young, but as far as, a leadoff hitter, if he was on the Mariners, and he could move positions, to play something else, obviously, everyone is always looking at a player like him if he's available. And, he's moved around on a few teams, within the last few years, and every team that he goes to, he always produces. And that definitely is a credit to him. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Gilbert to Schmidt. Absolutely. Two 2-1 pitch to Schmidt. And a hard hit ball into shallow center field. Julio is there. And that is out number 3. No fly zone finally in full effect. Great job there by Julio Rodriguez. All right, it's time for us to get on the board, and let's see if we can end up getting on the board here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And I love the fact that Ichiro still, suits up. I mean, let alone, being a regular retired player, but to be a retired Hall of Fame player, but still having that love for the Mariners and love for baseball, it's unheard of. You don't see anybody doing what Ichiro is doing. Getting the cleats on, putting on the full uniform, playing catch with the players, giving them advice, going through batting practice and just trying to help the team get better. And that's why Ichiro will always be a one of one. Very, very special. One of my favorites of all time. And again, we've been blessed with, great people on and off the field, with Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. and Edgar Martinez and Ichiro Suzuki. I wouldn't want to replace any of those four guys with anybody in the league ever. It's just, one of the best leadoff hitters in Ichiro, one of the best DHs, obviously, in Edgar Martinez, one of the best pitchers of all time in the big unit, and the best swing in baseball, and didn't have to use steroids, Ken Griffey Jr. And even though we haven't been to a World Series yet, again, I'm very proud of the history that we have. Next up, in the 8-hole, right fielder from the Orioles, Weston Wilson. Batting second in the 9-hole, shortstop, Colt Emerson. Let's go, Colt. And batting third, 0 for 1, third baseman, J.P. Crawford. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. 57 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 30 on the Dono train because of Sean and Christakis' generosity. And let's see where we're at on the likes. Trying to get to 100 and beyond on every stream. Definitely helps out with the metrics and the algorithm. We got 127 in the room. And we are at 38. 62 to go. Honestly, all four of those guys are kind of one-of-ones. Ichiro, Edgar Martinez, arguably one of the best DHs of all time, Randy Johnson, the big unit, and Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, everything that they do, they've been the best at, or one of the best at in their positions. And, I'm proud, that they are a part of our franchise. It's very special. 1 ball and 1 strike to Weston Wilson. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Sinker there by Robbie Ray. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ray to Wilson. And Wilson calls time. After Ray ended up winning the Cy Young and then came over from the Blue Jays, we all remember the Yordan Alvarez play, and obviously we had to ship him out after that, but he's had a productive and successful career here in San Fran the last couple years. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Weston Wilson. And that is 1 away. Can't wait to trade Luis Castillo for another right-handed bat and potentially another bullpen pitcher. Hopefully that will be the direction that we go, because we could definitely use another right-handed bat because Ref Snyder is terrible. And obviously we need bullpen help as we wait for Cooper Criswell, Matt Brash, and Carlos Vargas in August. Next up is Colt Emerson. First pitch with the slider is outside, 1-0 count. Robbie Ray on the mound. Colt Emerson, the phenom, in the box. 1-0 pitch. Knuckle curve, takes a strike right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ray to Emerson. And I think if Colt can just be more patient in the box, like J.P. Crawford, Dominic Canzone, and Cole Young, better things will happen. And obviously his batting average has gotten under 200 for the first time this year, which is not good. 25% of his hits are home runs, but he's been in a little bit of a slump as of late. Two 2-1 pitch from Ray to Colt. Balls and 1 strike to Colt Emerson. 3-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Ray to Emerson. Come on, Colt. 3-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. And obviously being a rookie, he'll be much better I believe offensively, he already has the defensive part down like Cole Young. It's just about getting better in the box and getting that big league experience. Big swing and a miss there by Colt, and that is 2 away. Mariners will not be sellers. We'll be buyers. We're going to still be in the mix. 0% chance they're going to be sellers. They will be buyers. Next up is J.P. Crawford. I mean, the American League is terrible this year. You got the Rays, you got the Yankees, the White Sox, the Guardians, and then you're going to have the Rangers, Mariners, and Astros going after it. But if you actually look at our talent level, we're the most talented team in the American League besides the Rays and the Yankees, player for player. And, it's just about being able to get into a right rhythm and groove. We've had a lot of injuries. The lack of the depth in the bullpen has really hurt us this year, and again, it's just a matter of time before we really start clicking like we usually do in the second half of the season. Pitch timer violation, obviously, on that first pitch. And a 1-0 pitch turns into a 2-0 count to our most patient hitter, J.P. Crawford. 2-0 pitch, line drive into right. There we go. Nice hit there by J.P. Crawford. A nice 2-out single there by J.P. Great job, J.P. Next up in the 2-hole center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. We could definitely use a dinger by Julio. Obviously, we know that he was going to have an impact like he did with the sac fly, scoring Robles from third last night. Let's go, J-Rod. First pitch to Julio right down the middle. Hard hit ball, deep right field, fading foul, out of play. Sinker at 93 miles an hour there by Robbie Ray, the former Blue Jay and Mariner. Bottom of the third inning, runner at first, J.P. Crawford with 2 outs. Well, there's a couple players that should have been unanimous in the Hall of Fame, Ken Griffey Jr. and Ichiro. But again, you're always going to have a Yankee hater, whether it's a writer or whatnot, regardless of what their intentions are, but usually you're going to have those people. Mariano Rivera was unanimous, but, Jeter should have been unanimous. Griffey should have been unanimous, and Ichiro should have been unanimous. And, you can definitely tell, that usually it's a rival team, that just is a hater, that can't get over it and, uses their vote in a negative way. 0-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes from Ray to Rodriguez. Talking about we're going to be sellers. Give me a break. We're going to be in the mix. 0-2 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Bottom of the third inning, 2-0 Giants. Robbie Ray on the mound, Julio Rodriguez in the box. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first with 2 outs. Bottom of the third, 2-0 San Fran. Two-two pitch. Hard hit ball towards third and out of play there by Julio Rodriguez. I'm very excited to have him back. It's, one of those things, when you don't have one of your best players in the lineup and, defensively in center, it's just like Aaron Judge on the Yankees. The Yankees are not the same team without him. And it's very clear. Can they still win games without Aaron Judge? Can you still win games without Julio? Yeah, but it's a hell of a lot harder. And both teams have shown the struggles without Julio and Judge in the lineup. Pitches high and away there, trying to paint the corner and missing. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Robbie Ray to Julio Rodriguez. Roop, Ginn, Ray, Peralta, and Bradish all pitching over 56% outside of the zone. And Julio calls time. Let's go, baby. Come on, Julio. Three-two pitch. And that's a great at-bat there for Julio, taking the walk. Great job, Julio. You know, having that patience, and that's what we need to have for all of our players. Great job. And then we get the guy that we want up with runners in scoring position, regardless if it's with no outs, 1 out, but he's great with 2 outs, Cole Clutch Young. And remember, with runners in scoring position with 2 outs, he's batting .412, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, and 23 ribbies. That's #1 on the team. Let's go, Cole. My favorite player on the team other than Julio Rodriguez. First pitch popped up into left and out of play. You know, and I love two-way players, and I know Colt will get on the Cole Young level next year and beyond, you know, hitting-wise. Obviously, defensively, he's already like Cole Young and Julio, Colt Emerson, but obviously still having some struggles figuring out the pro game in the box, but I know he'll get better as his career continues. But Cole Young, you know, should have been a reserve all-star, in my opinion, this year. You know, obviously had more home runs and more ribbies than Ernie Clement, the leading vote getter, you know, for the American League, even though his batting average was slightly lower. But for a sophomore player, incredible, you know. And again, I love me some Cole Clutch Young. Big swing and a miss, low and away with that slider, 87 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes from Ray to Young. Come on, Cole. One good swing, we could end up taking the lead or potentially even getting another bases loaded situation or even an RBI. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Come on, Cole. Come on, Cole. 1-2 pitched from Robbie Ray. Unfortunate big swing and a miss, low and away, getting fooled with that slider, and that is the end of the 3rd inning, but hopefully Cole will be able to make up for it later in the game. Robbie Ray wheeling and dealing, and we may have to wait till Robbie is just about to exit, just like when you know, we were kind of waiting for Logan Webb to kind of have a meltdown, and eventually he did, but sometimes you got to wait until the 5th, 6th, or 7th inning for that to happen. All right, let's go to the top of the 4th inning and see who's up next here for the Giants. Next up for the Giants, 0 for 1 with a K, first baseman Rafael Devers. Batting second, 1 for 1 with an RBI, left fielder Elliot Ramos. And batting third in the 6th hole, right fielder 0 for 1, Jung-Hoo Lee. Tridents up, let's go M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 57 subs to go to 24,500 as we approach the top of the 4th inning. We're at 30 on the Dono train because of Sean and Christakis. Shout out to the 2 of you. Appreciate you very, very much. 70 to go on the Dono goal. And let's see where we're at on the likes. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Help us out with the metrics and the analytics. We're at 45, 55 to go. Shout out to our female audience, our new subs, all of our regulars, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Appreciate you. Tridents up. Let's go M's. End of the 3rd inning, 2-0 San Fran. Nothing that we can't come back from. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40-plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. He is retiring after this season, so every stream we will dedicate it to one of my favorites of all time, not named Dave Niehaus, the one, the only, Rick Riz. We love you. We've been blessed with great guys, you know, calling games on TV and radio with Niehaus and Rick Riz. And, you know, Goldie, for being a younger broadcaster, is already one of the best in baseball. First pitch from Gilbert to Devers. And challenge is incoming here. Looked like it was in the zone. And looks like it is just below the zone, and the call gets overturned. 0-1 count now turns into a 1-0 count. Top of the 4th inning, 2-0 San Fran. And we need to drop bunts down, and again, small ball is king. And again, moving guys over, and bunting, it may not be the sexiest thing about baseball, but sometimes those are the things that need to be done, to be able to win. It's like, if you're watching the NFL draft and your favorite team drafts an offensive lineman in the first round, it's not sexy, compared to a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, or tight end. But if you know football, you got to have a good offensive line to win, to be able to pass, protect, and run block. And, the same thing goes with bunting and kind of doing the small ball, kind of strategy. It may not be sexy, but it definitely needs to be done. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Devers. 1-1 pitch, high and away, painting the corner, but just missing. Change up there. 2 balls and 1 strike from Gilbert to Devers. All day in the building. What's good? We're at 30 on the dono train, 70 to go all day. Christakis with a tenor and 20 by Sean. And Sean got mod status today all day. So you got another individual helping out, and doing what they do, being great. And being a great dog father, Sean is, just like myself, and supporting the channel to the fullest. When you can support someone's dreams, that's the ultimate compliment that you can have here on YouTube. 2-2 pitch. Little dribbler there towards first. Cole Young is there. Throw to first, and that is 1 away. Great defensive play by my favorite player, Cole Clutch Young. Great job. Down goes Devers. Next up is Elliot Ramos. On deck, the underrated Jung-Hoo Lee. And we definitely have seen a big wave of Asian American players that have come from Japan and from other, countries in Asia, whether individuals are Japanese or Chinese or Korean, but you're definitely seeing a wave of guys where it used to be just like Japanese pitchers, with Hideo Nomo in the mid-90s. And then you got a few other guys like Hideki Matsui, on the Yankees, but now you're starting to see, quite a few players that aren't just pitchers that are really having impact on their teams. Big swing and a miss there by Ramos. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Elliot Ramos. Especially the 2 rookies, coming out of Japan, on the Blue Jays and the White Sox. It's just awesome to be able to see, guys break out immediately, and it's not even taking them a couple years to get familiar. Shows you what kind of talent there is all across the globe. Baseball is a global game. It may not be the most popular compared to like soccer or football, which the World Cup obviously is today, the championship. I assume Argentina will go back to back and win with Messi, but you never know. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Ramos as that pitch is low and away with the changeup by Logan. Mike says we're at 50 to go. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down he goes. Nice job there by Logan Gilbert. And that is 2 away. Good job, Logan. Gilbert, 3.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks. And even though he gave up that home run early and that RBI, he's at 7 Ks. And again, 54 pitches, 37 strikes, 3.37 ERA. Bryce has been a little shaky as of late, even though he's been our best pitcher for a majority of the season since he came back from injury. But Logan is quietly creeping. We just need the offense to kind of, help out. And that's kind of been the issue with our pitchers. When they give up 2 runs or less, a lot of times we're at 0 when they've actually pitched a pretty good game as the Mariners challenge. Here on Jung-Hoo Lee, call is overturned, and that is a ball to a strike. And again, if we end up having a run on the board, even when we're down, 2-1 compared to 2-0 or 3-0, it doesn't look as bad. But again, a lot of the hitters have not done justice for our pitchers this season. And Jung-Hoo Lee, little blooper in the shallow left field and foul. Lazy effort by Randy Arosarena in left field, but what's new? I would love for him to hustle to try to get after a ball, but that's just not in his MO, I guess, Like, even if you can't get to it, at least show effort, hustle, full speed, dive once in a while, show that you actually care about, someone other than yourself. You know, and again, we're going to see Robles, go after it. We're going to see Luke Rayleigh go after it. We're going to see Julio go after it. Hell, you're even going to see Dom go after it. But for whatever reason, Randy is just as lazy as hell out there in left field. Sickening. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Ramos. And I know Randy is a good hitter, but again, when I see laziness running to first, laziness on ground balls, laziness throwing the ball into the infield with lobs, not lasers, I will never rock a Randy Arozarena jersey. And if someone gave me one, I'd give it back. I definitely cannot represent a player like that. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. That gets away from Cal Raleigh all the way back to the backstop. And I know there's a lot of Randy fans out there, and he is a good hitter, our most consistent hitter for the year, But again, I like guys that show effort, that are selfless, that want to be able to be bigger than themselves and trying to help the team win, not just try to get their stats up. And Randy's been that way since he was on Tampa Bay as well, so nothing has changed. 2-2 pitch, popped up. Should be a routine play here for Julio Rodriguez in the no-fly zone, and it is, and that is out number 3. Rebecca in the building. What's good? Great to have Julio back in center field. And let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and let's get on the board already. Right hands up. Let's go M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. $57 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 30 on the Dono train with Christakis and Sean. Shout out to Sean for getting mod status today. Appreciate you. And after Jung-Hoo Lee flies out to center, let's see who's up next year for the Mariners. Next up in the 4-hole, 0-for-1 left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting second in the 5-hole, 0-for-1 with a K, DHing big dumper Cal Raleigh. And batting third, 1-for-1 in the 6-hole, first baseman Nails Josh Naylor. And we got a lot of guys in AAA right now that could help this team win. Johnny Pereda, you got Lazaro Montes and Michael Arroyo that just got promoted to AAA a few days back, and both are playing really well. Lazaro Montes can play offense and defense. Could be a guy that could replace Randy, at some point in the near future. Even though he's more of a right fielder rather than a left fielder, but I imagine he can learn. And Arroyo is usually in the infield. And again, we got a lot of talent. And we're not even talking about Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan that aren't even in AAA yet, but they could even be on this team today, helping out our bullpen. Eventually, Cade will end up being in the starting rotation sooner than later. And honestly, I think Cade could end up being our best pitcher at some point, once he gets developed in the system. He's that good. First pitch from Robbie Ray is a sinker in the zone there for a strike to Randy, 0-1 count. Robbie Ray on the mound, Randy Arozarena in the box. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ray to Arozarena. Rebecca in the building, how are you? Mike in the building, what's good? Angry in the building, how are you? 1-1 pitch from Ray to Arozarena. And Randy with a little slow dribbler towards third, 360 spin, high throw, and Randy is safe. And Randy getting into second base. And, our base running has been terrible this season, but I'll give Randy credit. That actually was a very heady play. He could have just stayed at first and been lazy like he normally is, but after that high throw, after the 360 spin and it bounced off the wall, no one was at second base, and he actually made a smart, heady play, and he ended up turning a single into a double. And again, that's not usually what Randy does, but shout out to him. That could end up being the difference from us getting on the board this inning or not. Nice job by Randy Arozarena. I'm going to call him out, when he deserves to be called out, but I'm also going to praise him, when he does something good for us. And that was probably one of the best plays he's actually made, for us, this season. Great job. First pitch to Cal Raleigh. Little foul tip in front of the catcher. 0-1 count. Come on, Cal. On deck is Nails, Josh Naylor. And the middle of the order has really struggled for us. The top of the order and the bottom of the order have been actually pretty good for us throughout the year, but middle of the order has been slacking. Yeah, I mean, again, Randy is the best consistent hitter on the team, so there's, things that Randy does that are positive, but again, he could be so much better. Hard hit ball by Cal Raleigh, deep center field, and caught. Randy tagging up from second and makes it into third. And a nice job there by Cal Raleigh getting that ball deep enough. If he's not going to be able to get a hit, just get it deep enough with a sac fly so you can get Randy to third. Nice job. Next up is Nails, Josh Naylor. Runner at third now with 1 out. On deck is Mitch Garver. And hopefully the Mariners are smart enough to realize that Johnny Pareda is the better hitter and better catcher than Mitch Garver. But, I have no idea why Rob Refsnyder and Mitch Garver are still on the team. Johnny Pareda would be much better on the squad. And Naylor with a dribbler up the middle. Let's go! And Randy scored. Run, Randy, you lazy ass. God, he just walks into home. I hate his personality stinks, man. Again, it's I don't know if it's cockiness, or he just thinks he's so much better than everyone else on the team. Run home, there's no need to be cocky to literally walk from third base and then, to go home, but we'll take it. And now the game with Josh Naylor having one of his best games in months, going 2 for 2 and getting a big RBI single. And now the game is 2-1. Great job by Josh Naylor. And we haven't said that in quite some time. Next up is Mitch Garver. Let's go, Mitch. It's not only a Randy problem, it's the coaches for not calling him out. Fucking hustle for once. And that's the reason why I don't think Randy will be a part of this team long term. And Naylor with a stolen bag and safe. Nice job there by Naylor. And when it rains, it pours when things are going bad, but obviously when you have Uncle Mo and that momentum, things start going your way. And after Randy making a good heady play off the high throw, you get Naylor with a stolen bag. Good job. We might be able to actually tie this game up or potentially take the lead. But with guys like Lazaro Montes and Rayleigh and Dom and Julio, we don't necessarily need Randy long term. And, if he ends up leaving, whenever his contract is up, if he's out of here after this year, it's not going to hurt my feelings one bit. I mean, I'd rather have someone that can play offense and defense like Lazaro Montes, even though he may not get as many home runs as Randy, but I'm okay with that, as long as I get effort. And if you haven't watched Michael Arroyo or Lazaro Montes, I highly encourage you to check out Tacoma Rainier's highlights, on Instagram or Twitter/X. You'll be very pleased to see the progression of a lot of our farm guys, Arroyo, Lazaro Montes, and then eventually Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan as pitchers. We have a very bright future, let me tell you. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ray to Garver. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Now, if that was Johnny Pareda, we'd probably actually get a hit out of that. But down goes Mitch. And hopefully the Mariner organization can realize, when they make a mistake, but again, they are very stubborn, Refsnyder's making $7 million, and that's more than most of the team, and he can't play baseball. At some point you just got to cut your losses and say, you know what, we made a $7 million mistake on a player that we thought was going to be a good fit in Seattle since he was, good against lefties in Boston. But just because you're good against, lefties, in a Red Sox uniform doesn't mean you're going to be good in Seattle, which is the hardest ballpark to hit at. And, definitely is not a fit on this team whatsoever. First pitch to Weston Wilson, knuckle curve low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And there we go. Ground ball up the middle. Go, 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 go. And a great play by Weston Wilson, and he ties the game up. Let's go. And again, momentum going in our favor. The former Oriole, Weston Wilson, just like he did in that last game against the Tampa Bay Rays, coming up big with an RBI, scoring Naylor from second. Beautiful. Weston Wilson. Much better than Rob Refsnyder. And next up is Colt Emerson, and now the game is tied, baby. Let's go. And Emerson getting a hit. Let's go. There we go. And I know that one really feels good for Colt because he's been struggling under 200. Great job there by Colt Emerson. And it shows you momentum is real in sports. Great job with the Uncle Mo. Having a great inning here. Next up is J.P. Crawford. And again, we've been great with 2 outs in the last month and a half. Let's go. Lazaro Montes makes diving grabs, good hitter. Nice prospect in the outfield, especially if we need to move on from Randy. And Arroyo is a good, hitter and, definitely can get you power at times, but more of an infield player. And, I just can't wait to be able to see Arroyo, Montes, Anderson, and Sloan on this roster. Next up is J.P. Crawford. First pitch, sinker, high and inside, 90 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Great inning. Yeah, Randy's in his final year, so I don't think it's going to hurt anybody's feelings that if he leaves the team. 1-0 pitch, another ball here from Robbie Ray. And the same thing happened with Logan Webb, except it took us a little bit longer. It took him into the 7th inning for to rough him up, but usually at the end of a guy's run in the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th, depending on the pitch count, you just want to rough up the starter and then hopefully rough up the bullpen. And then you can find a way to get, a victory against this San Francisco Giant team. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Knuckle curve, 78 miles an hour there by Robbie Ray, the former Blue Jay and Mariner. 2-1 pitch, high and away. Knuckle curve missing again. 3 balls and 1 strike from Ray to Crawford. And let's see if JP can force a walk, considering he's the most patient hitter on the team. And then we'll have bases loaded for Julio Rodriguez. And after that, we got Cole Clutch Young batting 3rd, the highest that he's been in the batting order, and definitely saved us yesterday. And just foul there by JP that would have scored a run. Paisley's doing good. She's still wearing the cone part-time, while I am working, but while I'm not working and I can have my eye on her, I've been taking it off. She still wears it to go to bed, but again, we're getting pretty close for her being fully healed, which is good. Bottom of the 4th inning, runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. We were down 2-0. No problem. We tied it up 2-2. And again, like yesterday, down 3-0. Cole Clutch Young with a 3-run jack. Julio with the sac fly in the 10th, scoring Robles 90 feet away at 3rd. And we ended up winning 4-3. So just because we get down early in games doesn't mean we can't come back as long as we're down by 5 runs or less. But if it goes above 5, then most of the time it's game over. But if it's 5 or less, we're always in it, at least based on, the 2026 stats. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Robbie Ray to J.P. Crawford. Take the walk, J.P. 3-2 pitch. And again, if that's any other player, maybe they swing at that. But J.P. Crawford, I'd rather have J.P. Crawford on this team as a role player rather than Randy or Luis Castillo or a few others that may or may not, obviously be on the team next year. Castillo should be gone at the trade deadline. If they want to move on from Randy, that would be smart. And then obviously I still want J.P. to come back because you just never know with the injuries. We may need someone to fill the gaps at 2nd, short, or 3rd. And we don't really know how long, Brandon Donovan will be able to stay healthy in his, tenure as with the Mariners. But, obviously in rehab and, with the Tacoma Rainiers playing 2nd today, and hopefully we can end up getting our star leadoff hitter, Brandon Donovan, back to the team in about a week and a half. All right, next up, with bases loaded, Julio Rodriguez. And then on deck, my favorite player, Cole Clutch Young. Let's go. Let's go, Julio. And you already knew Julio was going to have an impact on the game, offensively, defensively. And obviously, he DH'd yesterday. Started off 0 for 4, but ended up being the hero with Cole Young. And I'm so happy he's back. First pitch to Julio, fouls it off. Changeup, 84 miles an hour off Robbie Ray, low and away, 0-1 count. Come on, J-Rod. Yeah, usually about 2 weeks, but sometimes you got to go more than 2 weeks, and I hope everything is okay with your German Shepherd, Riley. Me and Sean and a few others in the room were big dog fathers, and, it's the proudest thing, for me, even over this channel. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, 14 years, 10 on YouTube, but another 4 on Facebook and other platforms and streaming. And I'm very proud of everything I've been able to accomplish on this channel as that goes out of play by Julio in the second deck. But being a good dog father, to Paisley is the thing that I'm most proud about, being able to give all my love and support, since there's so many dogs that are out there that don't get the love or are abused. And, it breaks my heart, and again, I will always try to be the best dog father I can be. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ray to Rodriguez. That's awesome. And it's a big responsibility being a father or a mother, to kids or to pets, and, for cats and dogs, for a lot of us, it's family, not just a pet. And that is the truth. 2-2 pitch popped up into right field. Jung Hoo Lee is there. And unfortunately, we leave the bases loaded, but we end up tying the game. So, I mean, beggars can't be choosers. Again, being down 2-0. Now, would it have been awesome, if he was able to hit a grand salami, or if we would have got another RBI? But sometimes you just got to be able to, crawl before you walk. And just knowing that he's kind of shaky, eventually we're going to end up taking the lead. So. That's awesome. My dad does rescues, and he normally rescue poodles, but they don't look like a traditional poodle. But, my dad has been rescuing poodles for the last maybe 20 years, and I think they're on their 3rd one now, and whatnot. And, we had Killer, and then we had Roxy, and now my dad's got 2 dogs. He's got Lucas and Bear. And again, it's just a great thing to be able to see people to show that kind of love. And, a lot of times, dogs sometimes end up being better than even people, and obviously there's a lot of great people that are out there. But again, a lot of us, don't mind spending time, with our pups rather than going out, especially when they need that love and attention. End of the 4th inning. What a great inning for the Mariners. We tie it up 2-2. Now let's see who's up next here for the San Francisco Giants. Next up, 0 for 1. Shortstop in the 7-hole, Willie Adames. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder Grant McCray. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, catcher Drew Kavanaugh. Trident's up, let's go M's. And if you would have told me a couple years back that I would be walking 3 times a day, 7 days a week, for 3 years straight, I would say you're lying, But again, it gives me a lot of joy. She saved my life more than once. And, obviously it's good for my mental health and hers. And it's just great to be able to get that exercise and get that love and, make those memories together. End of the 4th inning as we go to the top of the 5th, and we're tied at 2. Eldridge homered to center at the beginning of the game, making it 1-0. Then Ramos had a single to right. Schmidt scoring, making it 2. Naylor with a single to left, scoring Randy. And Weston Wilson hitting a single to center, scoring Naylor. And we have a tie ball game. First pitch is low and away with a slider, 86 miles an hour to Willie Adames, 1-0 count. And the love that you get from a dog, it's undescribable. You get a lot of these people, out there that are haters that, when people post a lot about their cat or dog, regardless if they have kids or not, but again, especially for people that don't have kids, it essentially ends up being your kid, and Paisley ends up, kind of being like my dog daughter, and I got to be a great dog father. And for the people that have kids and dogs, or the people that don't, you are doing a magical thing. 3-0 pitch, and there for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike from Gilbert to Adames. Three doggos and a cat. You are a very, very busy dog father. And a cat father as well. 3-1 pitch. Pitch is inside, and that is ball 4. And I do believe, if you put in all your, love and attention into a dog or a cat that turns into family, you don't really have as many bad days, with anxiety and depression, which still could be present. But a lot of times with exercise, and obviously with that pet or, family member in your life, it can really turn things around. I know it did for me. I had really bad depression and anxiety, but, I haven't had any in a couple years. So, and Paisley is a big part of that, as well as you guys. First pitch into McRae is a strike, 0-1 count. So right now, Robbie Ray is sitting at 6 Ks and Gilbert at 7. And McRae with a bunt. Garver there, throw to first, and got him. And that is 1 away. And just like the photo, McRae with a bunt. And good job by JP, not Garver, making the play. And that is 1 away. Runner advances to second. Nice job, JP. Next up is Drew Kavanaugh. Then we got Garver and Gilbert having a little meeting here, trying to get on the same page. Top of the 5th inning, where the runner at second with 1 out, and the game is tied at 2, thankfully. And we only, it took us a little bit, it took us a few innings to get there. But again, you just got to, believe that we're going to be able to get the job done. And Julio in the lineup makes a huge difference. And obviously him in center field as well. But for a lot of us that have had really bad depression and anxiety, it can, get to a point where, things can get very, very shaky, and whatnot. And, you want to be able to have a purpose to live. You want to be able to, show that love and appreciation. And, for what you put in, as far as love and attention and effort into a dog or cat, you will get it back 100-fold. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Kavanaugh as he takes a strike looking high and away. 0-2 pitch, little dribbler towards first and out of play. Slider 86 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second and 1 out. Top of the 5th inning, 2-2 Giants and Mariners. O2 pitch, and Logan steps off the mound. Yeah, depression, anxiety, PTSD, a lot of those things, it really is one of those things. If you exercise and, you end up having that come into your life, again, it's undescribable the changes that can be made. It makes you want to be a better woman and a better man, when you end up knowing that how desperately they need, you not only just to be fed and to, give them proper water to live, but it's about thriving, not just living, and it's very undescribable, the feeling that you get when you know that you're doing a great job. Pitch is low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Kavanaugh. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Great job there by Logan. 8 punch out there by Logan. Great job, Logan. Pacing for 10 Ks. Great splitter there by Logan Gilbert. 83 miles an hour, fooling Kavanaugh. And that is 2 away. Next up, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Second baseman Luis Arraez, and Logan Gilbert is the only pitcher in baseball to get Arraez to strike out twice in a game. Think about that for a second. We've been already more than halfway through the season, and Luis Arraez is such a good hitter that he hasn't struck out twice in a game all year besides today. But again, when you're batting close to 330 and usually over 300 the last 3, 4, 5 years, very, very impressive. 1-0 pitch, hard hit ball. And Arraez finally gets a hit after getting struck out twice. And Randy, lazy as hell in left field, getting that ball. Runner scores. 3-2 San Fran. Next up, with 2 outs with a runner at second, DHing Bryce Eldridge, who homered in the first inning. But as long as Logan gives up 3 or less, we'll be just fine. We have to try to get to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits anyways. And again, when you get someone like Luis Arise, you're typically not going to have him go 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 that often. First pitch to Eldridge, popped up, out of play, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Eldridge. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Top of the 5th inning, 3-2 San Fran. No one ever said it was going to be easy, and we're going to go against Ellie De La Cruz and the Reds starting tomorrow. We just got to be able to, get another nice inning before this game is over, which I believe we will. Hopefully multiple good innings. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Eldridge. Can't let them score any more here. 1-2 pitch, hard hit ball towards first and foul. Splitter 82 miles an hour right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at second with 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning, 3-2 Giants. Big swing and a miss. Got him. There we go. I know Logan's disappointed of giving up the RBI, but again, Luis Arise is just a great player. It's hard to be able to, get him out, period. And again, but I do feel confident that we can tie this game up or take the lead. See if we have the right batters to do it here in the bottom of the 5th. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, even though he did get on first with an error. Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a run, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, DHing today for Seattle, big dumper Cal Raleigh. Trident's up, let's go M's. We're at 30 on the Dono train, 70 to go. 57 subs to go. To 24,500, we gained a sub during the commercial break. Appreciate you. 56 subs to go to 24,500. And let's take a look to see where we're at on the likes halfway through the game here. We got 162 in the room, and hopefully we're getting close to that 100 number. We're at 68, 32 more to go. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Trident's up, let's go M's. Let's go, Cole. And again, Cole Young with runners in scoring position, batting 300, 4 doubles, 1 triple, 5 homers, 39 ribbies with runners in scoring position with 2 outs, 412 batting average, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 23 ribbies, and both of those are number 1 on the team in those situations. Crazy to think that a sophomore player in his second year is that good offensively and defensively, but he's a first-round pick for a reason, like Colt Emerson, and again, those guys are going to be on our team for many, many years to come. Hopefully, 10, 15, 20 years, depending on how long they play. 1-0 pitch, hard hit ball, deep right field, fading foul. And Cole, doesn't really have the, body size, of a player that you would think that would be able to get those home runs. Number 1 in RBIs with 46, Randy, Julio, and Dom behind him. But again, he may be a smaller, body type, but that doesn't mean that he can't, get as many homers as anybody else on the team. Hell, based on how he's been swinging the bat, recently, there's a chance if he gets hot, he could end up leading the team in homers before the team, plays its last game. And that's kind of a crazy thing to say for a second baseman in his second year, but he's steadily creeping towards Julio, as he gets a base knock in the right field. My guy, Cole Clutch Young. We obviously know Dom, at 15, and, Luke Raley and Julio at 14, but, Cole at 12, he's getting there. Nice job, Cole Young. Next up is Randy Arozarena. Cole's got a chance to get gold gloves and to be a perennial all-star year in and year out very, very soon. First pitch was low and away to Randy Arozarena by Robbie Ray, 1-0 count. Second pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ray to Arozarena. Change up, 83 miles an hour, low and away. 1-1 pitch. And Randy with a base knock. Here we go. Run, Cole. Run, Cole. Go, go, go. Go, baby, go. And we got runners on the corners. There we go, baby. Nice job there by Randy Arozarena and Cole Young getting back-to-back hits. That's something that the Mariners have not been able to do in quite some time. Now we got runners at first and third for the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, let's go. Robbie Ray is done, and it looks like we got 2 more donos by Christakis. Thank you so much. And Christakis with a $5 about a half hour ago, but I didn't see it as it came up, so I appreciate you. I always have to go through like Cash App and Venmo when I can. And then Christakis about 7 minutes ago with another dono with a tenner. Thank you so much, Christakis. $25 by Christakis alone. And another tenner by Christakis. Let's go. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Says, love your energy and your love for the dogs, and it's 100% real. I'm always going to be just real. Real recognizes real. There's a lot of fake out there in the world, especially on social media, and it's great to be able to, share, my life with you guys, not just the baseball side and the sports side, but, in my personal life with Paisley. And, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to Sean and Christakis. Now we are at, I believe, 55 to go on the dono train. And now a new pitcher coming in here for Cal Raleigh. Henches is coming in. First pitch into Cal for a strike, 0-1 count. Pitch high and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Runners at first and third with no outs. This should be the inning where we tie it up or take the lead. Let's go. And Cal with a hard hit ball. Could be a double play. And it is, but the runner scores. And the game is tied. Not exactly what you want with a double play, which we've hit into a couple of them today. But the main thing is making sure that Cole Young scores. And he does. And that is 2 away. Good job. Game is tied. Next up now is Josh Naylor. It's like, they're going to strike first, and then we're going to respond. They're going to jab us. We're going to jab back. And then, obviously, they hit us with a haymaker, and we give them a haymaker back. And now the game is tied 3-3, and, it's much better than being down 3-0. And a hard hit ball into right field, but Jung-Hoo Lee is a great defender and a great hitter, and you're not going to get a whole lot on him unless you're incredibly lucky. And that is out number 3 as Naylor flies out to Jung-Hoo Lee and right. But not before we end up tying the game. And that's exactly what we want to do. Especially when you end up hitting into a double play, you want to make sure that it doesn't end the inning. You want to make sure you get that runner at third to score before the inning ends, and we did. All right, great job, Mariners. We're in, keeping pace, with this Giant team. And let's go to the top of the 6th inning with the game tied 3-3. Next up in the 3-hole, 1 for 2 with a run, third baseman Casey Schmidt. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, first baseman Rafael Devers. And batting third, 1 for 2 with an RBI and a K, left fielder Elliot Ramos. Right hands up, let's go Elms. 56 subs to go, 24,500. We're at 45 on the Dono train because of Christakis and Sean, the MVP so far today. And let's see where we're at on the likes. We're creeping closer to that 100 number. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do. It helps us out with the metrics and the analytics for everyone looking for Giants, Mariners, or just MLB streams. And we're at 78. We're almost there. 22 more to go. Rebecca with a 5-er. Thank you so much. Yep, that is true. We're only 1.5 games back at the moment, so plenty of time. Rebecca with a 5-er. Shout out to our female audience like Rebecca, who's a regular and showing love on the Dono train. We're at 50 on the Dono train, 50 to go. And again, after having to spend a lot of money on the vet the last 3 months, every dollar counts. Appreciate you. Yeah, and this is definitely a must-win, game, a must-win series because, we got the Reds next, and we just got to be able to slowly but surely put our best foot forward and eventually take over first place in the AL West. We know the AL is down this year. Thankfully, it is. So even though we played, subpar baseball, and it hasn't really been the what we have been expecting, but again, we're still in the mix. We know the Rays are great. We know the Yankees are good. Right? We know the White Sox and Guardians look like playoff teams, and it'll come down to the Mariners, Rangers, and Astros probably for 2 spots, and one team will get left out, and it won't be us. First pitch is inside, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and away, gets away from Garver, hits the backstop towards the T-Mobile bricks. 2 balls and no strikes from Gilbert to Schmidt. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Mariners. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Giants. And Tank with a 5-er. Thank you so much. Every dollar counts. Thank you. We're at 55 on the Dono train. 45 to go. Little slow dribbler there by Schmidt. Emerson is there. Throw to Naylor, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Good job, Colt. Next up in the 4-hole, first baseman Rafael Devers. On deck is Elliot Ramos. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 count. One pitch, another ball there by Gilbert. 2 balls and no strikes to Rafael Devers. Two-0 pitch, big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike from Gilbert to Devers. Two-one pitch, big swing and a miss. Beautiful four-seam fastball there by Logan Gilbert. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Game is tied at 3, and it's definitely in reach for us to be able to win this game and win the series to creep closer to the Texas Rangers for first place. 2-2 pitch, popped up and fading out of play. I mean, Gilbert's at 9 Ks, even though he's given up 3 runs. You know, and again, imagine if we were down 3-0, then it would make his performance look, not as, obviously, when you give up 3 runs, normally you want to give up 2 or less, but, in this day and age, obviously with the Mariners kind of being up and down, again, you just want to be able to be competitive, and how you end up being competitive is scoring 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits on a consistent basis, but not a lot of teams can do that nowadays. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Number 10 for Logan Gilbert. Great job, Logan. And he's at the top right now with Bryce Miller as our top pitchers at the moment. And it's just nice to be able to see a 3 next to the Mariner name rather than a 0 like we were at yesterday before Cole Young bailed us out with a 3-run jack. And then we ended up getting that sac fly from Julio to score Robles at third base and winning 4-3 in extras. Next up is Elio Ramos. First pitch is high and inside, 1-0 count. 89 pitches for 10 Ks for Logan Gilbert. Obviously, you would rather have him, give up 2 runs or less and get 10 Ks, but, this is not a perfect world. Still can win this game. 1-0 pitch. Hard hit ball into right field, fading out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 6th, 3-3 Giants and Mariners. And again, we definitely got a shot in the arm with Julio back, not just as a DH yesterday, but in center field. And I feel that we're going to get a real big shot in the arm for positivity when we get Brandon Donovan back at third. You got to remember, before he got hurt, he was one of the only players that was actually kind of playing well, batting 300 to 350. And even though he was playing a new position, he was actually doing pretty good at third base. And again, I can't wait for him to be able to have the that opportunity, hopefully to stay healthy the rest of the season to help us win. Because again, when you have a good leadoff hitter, it changes the whole dynamic of the game. And again, no disrespect to JP, he's done a pretty good job filling in, but Donnie, is a better hitter and a better defender, and we just need to be able to get a fully healthy ball club, and then get Vargas, Criswell, and Brash back in the bullpen in August, and then we'll be fully healthy. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Ramos. Nice that we have no errors today, and we have 7 hits, considering we've had games recently with only a hit or 2. So it feels good. 3-2 pitch, a little slow dribbler up the middle. JP is there. Pick it up, throw it. Got him. There we go. 10 strikeout day for Logan Gilbert, but great job there by JP Crawford. As long as you're not throwing sidearm, usually good things happen. Nice job, JP. And again, if Randy ends up, leaving to go to another team, Castillo should be traded at the deadline for a bullpen pitcher or a right-handed bat or both. But I want JP Crawford back on this team. I think he has the fan base's support for the most part. He tries. Could his defense and his hitting be a little bit better? Of course. But again, it would be a great player to have as a backup just in case something happens to Young, Emerson, or Brandon Donovan short term or long term. And then you can, have a guy come in that you feel confident that can help you win a game offensively and defensively, even though his defense has been probably the worst than it's ever been, at short, and at third base. But I still think even with those mistakes, he still is a proven, patient hitter in the box. And I think he is, he may not be a top fan favorite, but I definitely feel that if he wants to come back, hopefully the Mariners will be able to re-sign him and have him come back to the team. Nice play there by JP at third, which we know he has struggled this season. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, catcher Mitch Garver. Should be Johnny Pareda, but, the Mariners are not that bright. Batting second, 1 for 2 with an RBI with a K, right fielder Weston Wilson. What an improvement over Rob Refsnyder. And batting third in the 9-hole, the phenom, shortstop Colt Emerson. Trident's up. Let's go Ems. Let's see if we can take the lead here. Gilbert at 95 pitches, so he'll be done. And then Hauser now is coming in. Adrian Hauser. All right, bottom of the 6th, we're tied at 3. It's time to take the lead and not look back. Adrian Hauser now comes in, third pitcher for the Giants. And let's see if we can get a little bit of that Soto mojo and that Mariner magic out of Mitch Garver. And hopefully the Mariner Moose can help him out here. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. And even if Garver gets on by a hit by pitch or a walk, that's definitely going to be a plus for us. It shows you the impact of Julio Rodriguez. People shouldn't be surprised. When Julio is, playing with the team offensively and defensively, we're a better team, just like the Yankees are better with Aaron Judge. When Aaron Judge and Julio are not playing, the Yankees and Mariners are usually not doing well. It's hard to be able to play well when your best player or one of your best players is not available. So, and again, as long as Julio hopefully doesn't have any more issues for the rest of the season, we're going to be in a good spot. 1-1 pitch, and Garver, blooper, wow! Diving catch in center field, are you kidding me? Robbing Garver of a potential double. Wow, Grant McCain with a diving catch. They've had some amazing catches in right and center field. McCain with one, and Jung-Hoo Lee with another one sliding on his back earlier in the game. Great job there by Grant McCray, robbing Garver of a single or double. I love defense. This kind of stinks when it happens to us, but I got to acknowledge it. Next up is Weston Wilson. Oh, Luke Raley getting a chance to come in now. All right. All right, let's see if we can get a nuke out of Luke. All right, Rayleigh coming in, replacing Weston Wilson, since we got a righty on the mound. And let's see if Luke, Mr. Hustle, can get something going here. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch to Rayleigh is high and away with a four-seam fastball there by Adrian Hauser. 1-0 count. Bottom of the 6th. 3-3 Giants and Mariners in a very fun game to not only call, but to watch. Yesterday was stressful, after being down 3-0, but Cole Young was a hero. Luke with a hard hit ball, deep right field, back, gone! A nuke from Luke, baby! 4-3 M's, woo! You ask for a nuke, you get a nuke. And Luke Rayleigh with the nuke, baby. Sometimes you just got to ask for it, right? And there we go. And again, Dan Wilson sometimes makes good moves, sometimes bad substitutions, but that was a hell of a good one. And Luke Raley giving us the 4-3 lead, and we are not looking back. Next up is Colt Emerson. Great job, Luke. I mean, he's been sitting for 2 hours, and to come in there and to do that, beautiful. 0-1 pitch is high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Colt Emerson. Let's go. And again, this team is incredibly exciting. It's the most talented team we've ever had. Even going back to the 2001 team that won almost 120 games. If you're looking at the team perspective, player for player, talent-wise, we have more talent on this roster than even that team had, and that team was incredible. So again, we're in a really good position moving forward, and I do believe that we will break the World Series curse sooner than later. I don't know if it'll be this year or in the next couple years, but it definitely feels like we're really trending in the right direction. And again, and the first time that we go to a World Series, we may not win, especially if we're playing the Dodgers, but again, just checking off the boxes and just trying to get better and better every year. 3-2 pitch, and Emerson pops up, shallow center field. And McRae is there, and that is 2 away. Next up is third baseman J.P. Crawford. Lauren in the building, what's good? Brian in the building, what's good? Peter in the building, what's good? Bagels in the building, what's good? 1-0 pitch popped up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. One pitch, hard hit ball into deep left field, fading foul, out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning. No. Bottom of the 6th inning. Mariners with a pinch hit home run by Luke Raley. And again, sitting for 2 hours and getting a hold of one, that's exactly what we needed. Even though Weston Wilson was productive, but you got to be able to make those proper substitutions. Lefty for a righty, righty for a lefty, and a lot of times with Dan Wilson, bringing in a Rob Refsnyder, you're thinking, oh God, really? But Luke Raley coming in for Weston Wilson, we'll take that, and it was the right call. Great job there by Luke with the nuke. Pitches low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Adrian Hauser to J.P. Crawford. Take the walk if it's there. 3-2 pitch. It was inside, jam JP, and it ends up going foul towards first base. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-3 Seattle. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Three-two pitch, and JP pops it up. And Devers is there, and that is out number 3. But not after Luke Raley comes into the game as a pinch hitter and absolutely crushes that baseball. 386 feet to right center. Great catch by that fan with the glove, and he'll have a souvenir that he'll remember for the rest of his life, and probably will end up being a big Luke Raley fan moving forward, especially when you end up catching a home run ball. Awesome. All right, let's go to the top of the 7th inning and see who's up next here for the Giants. And hopefully we can prevent them from scoring so we can hang on to this 4-3 lead and add on to it. Next up for the Giants in the top of the 7th, 0 for 2, right fielder in the 6th hole, Jung-Hoo Lee. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a run and a base on ball, shortstop Willie Adames. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder in the 8th hole, Grant McRae. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Logan Gilbert's day is done. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks, 95 pitches, 62 strikes with a 3.38 ERA. And at the moment, him and Bryce Miller are our most consistent, pitchers at the moment. Hopefully Wu and Kirby will catch up. Hancock has been improved from last year, and we obviously know Castillo is obviously last, but hopefully Castillo can, do the best that he can. And he's actually been a little bit better lately compared to where he was at the beginning of the year, if we're being real. But definitely a good trade candidate for us, to get a right-handed bat and a bullpen pitcher for Castillo. And it looks like we're going to be bringing in Eduard Bizzardo. Last 2 starts for Logan Gilbert. 13.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 17 Ks with 1 walk. Is that good? Damn right it is. Nice job, Logan. Next up is Eduard Bizzardo. And again, Bizzardo, Spire, and Ferrer lately, we have to hope that they play well, but, it's kind of hit or miss with those guys. They're not as consistent as they were last year, but, again, it's better than having, Nick Davila or, Simpson or, some of the others that are AAA guys. And a little blooper, and that lands in between Young and Julio, and a little bloop single there by Jung Hoo Lee, a very underrated player offensively and defensively. Spain won it 1-0, huh? Over Argentina. No back-to-back for Messi. Next up is Willy Adames, who's homered in back-to-back games. You cannot throw it down the middle to him. First pitch in there for a strike. Inside, 0-1 count. One pitch, hard hit ball, deep right field, fading out of play. No balls and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Adames. Ref Snyder in April. And I hope Ref Snyder gets healthy, but I don't want to see him play for the rest of the year. And I think a lot of us in the room feel the same way, especially when you have other options. Like, obviously, we don't really have a whole lot of faith with Buddy Matthews or Rob Ref Snyder, and obviously with Mitch Garver, considering we have Pareda and a few other options that could make this team better, but that's all up to obviously the GM and, Dan Wilson. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Good job there by Bizzardo, not giving up a home run. And that is 1 away. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Nice job there by Eduard Bizzardo, who was our best bullpen pitcher last season. 1 out and 1 on. Next up is center fielder Grant McCray. On deck is Drew Kavanaugh. Throw to first and safe. Shout out to our female audience, as well as all of our new subs, all our regulars, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Big swing and a miss there by McCray. Sweeper right down the middle there by Eduard Bizzardo. 83 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Top of the 7th inning, runner at first with 1 out. Mariners up 4-3. And again, after getting blasted 7-0 in game number 1, down 3-0 in the 7th inning, Cole Young hit a 3-run blast to tie it up 3-3. And then we had Julio with the sac fly in 10, scoring Robles 90 feet away at third and winning 4-3. And now we have another 4-3 lead. But again, magic number for the Mariners, 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And when we hit that number with decent pitching, more times than not, that's a win. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Let's go. Nice job there by Eduard Bizzardo. Dodger in the building. What's good? Next up in the 9-hole, catcher Drew Kavanaugh. Mariner Moose, you did your thing. And let's keep it going here with Eduard Bizzardo. Let's not give up any runs here. First pitch is high and away to Kavanaugh, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, fouled off, out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first with 2 outs, top of the 7th inning, 4-3 Mariners. And it shows you the impact of Julio Rodriguez. When you don't have Julio, you don't really win games. And when Julio is in at center field and in the box, he doesn't necessarily even need to go 4 for 4 or 3 for 4 for us to win. Just him being able to be out there, his presence on the field makes such a huge difference with this ball club. 2-1 pitch. High and away. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike from Bizzardo to Kavanaugh. And we got Ellie De La Cruz and the Reds tomorrow at 6:40 Pacific, and I like our chances in that series as well. 3-1 pitch, popped up and out of play. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Kavanaugh. And remember, the Mariners are a second-half team, And again, once we get Brandon Donovan back in about a week and a half, we're going to be pretty much full strength. Besides Ref Snyder still trying to go in the rehab process, but nobody cares about Rob. And obviously, as that one gets fouled off again there by Kavanaugh. But we really need Brash, Cooper Criswell, and Carlos Vargas healthy. So that way we can get rid of the AAA guys. No disrespect to Davila and Rucker and Simpson and, Hoppy going back and forth with AAA. But, we didn't have that issue last year. And, the bullpen is going to win or lose you more games than any other position group. And, to have those 3 guys not available has really hurt us this year. And Bizzardo gets the punch out. Nice job, Eduard. There we go. I like that. Great job there by Eduard Bizzardo. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning and let's see if we can add on another run. What do you say? Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up for the Mariners in the bottom of the 7th inning, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K. It's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Got that game-winning sac fly there in the 10th, scoring Robles. Let's see if Julio can maybe raise the trident and give us a solo dinger, which would be fantastic. Batting second in the 3-hole, 1 for 3 with a run and a K. Second baseman Cole Clutch Young. And Cole probably should be batting third the rest of the season, honestly. You want to make sure you have your guys that you feel comfortable, and again, he's better, than a lot of the other guys on the team. He shouldn't be batting 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th. And again, I know they've been putting Dom at the 3, but Cole Young deserves a chance to be in the 3-hole for the rest of the season, and good things will happen. And batting third in the 4-hole, 1 for 3 with a run, left fielder Randy Arosarena. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. $56 subs to go to 24,500. As we're approaching the 7th inning stretch. And we should be over 100 likes by now. We're at 93 with 267 in the room, so we're a little bit behind the 8 ball. Can we get 7 people to hit the like button? And we'll be at 100, and that'll be good for the metrics moving forward. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do. We need 7 people to hit that like button out of 269, which should be easy. And then we'll be at 100, and then hopefully we can end around 150 to 175 with the likes. Shout out to Chris. '50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40 plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. So every stream, we will dedicate it to his retirement this year. The one, the only Rick Riz. We love you. We've been blessed with Rick Riz and Dave Niehaus, and even with Goldie, a fantastic announcer, especially for being a little bit younger compared to some of the other guys. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. JP, Julio, and Cole Young in the top 3 is awesome, but Brandon Donovan, Julio, and Cole Young is even better, especially if Donnie can be healthy. And that could really change the outlook, of this team moving forward, especially if you can get those guys being consistently hot. Donnie batting, 300 to 350 is kind of where he was at before he got hurt. And then imagine then you have Julio starting to heat up, and then you have Cole Young, who is the best, obviously with runners in scoring position, not only late in games, but, kind of in general. He's number 1 in RBIs as a sophomore, best defensive player on the team besides Julio. Obviously, we know Colt Emerson is pretty good on defense as well. And again, things are trending in the right direction. Sean with a tenor. Appreciate you. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez. Shout out to Sean. That one is fouled off, out of play, 0-1 count. Let's go, Julio. You're due for a homer, baby. We got one from Luke Rayleigh. We got a nuke from Luke. Could we get one from J-Rod? 0-1 pitch from Hauser. Julio, line drive. Let's go. And it ends up being a nice single into left. There we go. And again, the impact of Julio Rodriguez cannot be understated. It's like the Yankees with no Aaron Judge. Can you win without Aaron Judge? Can you win without Julio? Yeah, but it's a hell of a lot harder. And again, Julio Rodriguez doing Julio Rodriguez things. Great job. J-Rod with a single. Next up in the 3-hole, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. And Cole is very good in the 7th inning and beyond. Hard hit ball, deep right field, back, gone! Let's go, baby! The best player on the team, Cole Clutch Young, homers again, let's go! Woo! I'm telling you, Cole Young might end up leading the team with home runs before the year is over. And that's fucking unheard of for a second baseman in his second year. Again, the guy is incredible. Think about the names that we have. Luke Rayleigh, Dominic Canzone, Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, Josh Naylor. And he is creeping steadily towards Dom, Luke, and Julio. And again, a big home run to right there by Cole Clutch Young. And again, nobody is better with runners in scoring position with 0, 1, or 2 outs than Cole Clutch Young. And we call him Clutch for a reason. Let's go. 6-3. And we ain't looking back, baby. Let's go. Next up is Randy Arozarena. 0-1 pitch, fouled off and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes from Hauser to Randy. 0-2 pitch, fouled off behind the plate and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. And again, I'm telling you, Cole Young, I know it's kind of a crazy thing to say, but he's going to end up being the best player on the team, moving forward besides Julio. And Cole's going to have a chance to be able to start at second base for the American League, year in and year out. And again, Ernie Clement was the leading vote getter for the American League. And the only reason that he got in over Cole, even though Cole had more home runs and more ribbies than Ernie Clement's batting average was closer to 300, where Cole's is normally around 250, 260. But I do believe before the season is over, Cole might end up, being closer to 270 to 290 and kind of being on that Ernie Clement level. And honestly, I would rather have Cole Young than Ernie Clement or Ozzie Albies, who is a starting second baseman for the National League. So we got something really special with Cole Clutch Young. Big swing and a miss down for Randy, and that is 1 away. But, we haven't had a whole lot of bright spots for the Seattle Mariners this year, right? But Cole Young is definitely the best bright spot that we have. Emerson Hancock has been better than expected. Bryce Miller has been better than expected, but nobody has been better, offensively and defensively than Cole Clutch Young. Facts. Unbelievable player. And if Colt Emerson next year can find his rhythm in the box, he'll be just like Cole. And we're going to have a dynamic duo with the CNC Factory there at second and short for many years to come. First pitch to Cal Raleigh, fouled off, out of play, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. And down the line and foul. No balls and 2 strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And there's going to be a lot of jerseys sold for Cole Young. You know, he's going to be the guy that they're going to mass produce the jersey next. You know, it was Julio for a while, then Cal Raleigh last year. Cole Young is going to be that next guy where you're going to hopefully see white, and you're going to see the blue, and you're going to see the teal, and you're going to see the steelhead, and then you're going to see the City Connect. And I can't wait for that to happen, because I definitely want to grab a jersey or two down the road. But you know, right now they only have the screen print in white for Young and Emerson, but I'm looking for the sewn colored jerseys if possible. 0-2 pitch, popped up by Cal. Should be a routine play here in foul territory at third, and that is 2 away. Next up in the 6th hole, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Crazy to think that Cole Young could end up being number 1, you know, in home runs on the team with all this amazing home run hitting talent that we have. You know, but I think that really shows you, you know, how great, you know, he can be. You know, he could be a guy that could potentially hit, you know, 20 to 30 home runs for a guy that doesn't really look like he can hit home runs. It's really special. And his defense is top tier. Nobody is on the defensive level than Cole Young besides Julio and obviously Emerson. And again, we got a very bright future. 1-0 pitch from Hauser to Naylor, little dribbler towards first. Flip back to the pitcher, toe tap on the bag, and that is out number 3. But not after a 2-run jack by Cole Clutch Young. Nobody is better in the 7th inning and beyond than Cole Young, not only on the Mariners, but in baseball. And he does it again. Great job, Cole. Bailed us out in yesterday's game, right? Obviously, when we were down 3-0, you know, he ended up getting a 3-run jack in the 7th to tie the game up and was the hero, and he does it again. And I'm going to tell you again, Cole Young with runners in scoring position. He's batting 300, 4 doubles, 1 triple, 5 homers, 39 ribbies. And then with runners in scoring position with 2 outs, when the game is on the line, he's batting 412, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 23 ribbies. And that was coming into this game. Unbelievable. Nobody is like Cole Clutch Young. 6-3 Mariners. Let's go. Let's go to the top of the 8th inning with a 3-run lead, and we ain't giving it up. Next up for the Giants, 1 for 3 with a ribby and 2 Ks, Luis Arise. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run and RBI and 2 Ks, DHing Bryce Eldridge. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a run, third baseman Casey Schmidt. Trident's up, let's go M's. Get you a Cole Young if you can. Let's go. Momentum, you know, it goes both ways. Uncle Mo, when things are going great, everything starts kind of falling into play. The bunts are working, you know, moving guys over, stealing bags. And obviously we've seen the opposite of that where, you know, when it rains, it pours, and one bad thing leads to another. Errors here, you know, bad hitting, bad pitching. You know, we've seen it all. You know, but again, we really haven't had too many bright spots, but this is definitely the biggest bright spot of the year. This is a future superstar in the making, Cole Clutch Young. And again, you know, Ozzie Albies and, you know, Ernie Clement and a few of the other guys that play second, you know, they're good players, but I don't think they're going to be better than Cole Young as far as career moving forward. Incredible player. Trident up. Let's go M's. All right, Gabe Spire coming into the game, and hopefully this will be the good Gabe, not the bad, for the Pat McAfee lookalike. Bizzardo, Spire, and then Mooney. That's where we're going. All right, Gabe. Get the job done. And again, it shows you the impact, you know, of Julio and Cole Young playing together. You know, again, when Julio is in the lineup, you we win. When Julio's not in the lineup, we lose. It's plain and simple. Look at that Marlins series, and we were fucking lucky to even win that game, the last game before the break against the Rays, especially when we ended up having, Hancock leaving the game early, but, we had some of the other role players step up and, we prevented the sweep, but got blasted 7-0 in game one. Julio came back and DH'd yesterday, made an impact. And now you're seeing an impact when you get Julio and Cole. To me, those are the two best players on the team. And again, good things are going to happen as long as we can have that dynamic duo together for the rest of the year. And we got Brandon Donovan about a week and a half away. And that could be another guy, another piece to the puzzle. 1-1 pitch, hard hit ball, out of play. Nice sinker there by Gabe, high and inside, 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs, top of the 8th inning, 6-3 Mariners. And we said at the beginning of the game, magic number is 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits with decent pitching. When we hit that number, we win 99% of the time. And we just have a couple more innings to go here. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Spire to Arise. Cole Young, number 1 on the team with RBIs in his sophomore year. Incredible. Best defender on the team besides Julio Rodriguez in center. Incredible. And showing you that he can hit home runs essentially just as good, if not better, than everyone on the team, which is crazy. Dom hasn't really been hitting very well in the last 30 games. And obviously we had Luke Raley with the walk-off or pinch hit, home run after sitting for about a couple hours, which was great, coming in for Weston Wilson. And you're going to have a few of these guys sitting around that, 14, 15 number. But if Young gets on a heater, especially in this Red series, he's going to be right there with them. And again, that bat is extremely hot as of late. Pitch is fouled off, out of play there by Arise. Two balls and 2 strikes as Cal takes the deflection there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luis Arise. Julie in the building, what's good? Yeah, and we're only a half game back, or 1.5, behind the Rangers. So, and then we obviously get this win today. We're going to be definitely trending in the right direction. A little foul tip there by Luis Arise, who hasn't struck out twice in a game all year besides today. Think about how great of a hitter you have to be to not strike out twice in a game all year, and it happened here against Logan Gilbert. Incredible hitter. 2-2 pitch, little dribbler up the middle. JP is there. I don't like the sidearm throw, but he makes it work, and that is 1 away. Good job there by JP Crawford. Next up is Bryce Eldridge, 1 for 3 with a run, RBI, and 2 Ks. On deck is Casey Schmidt. Awesome. Anytime the Rangers lose or the Astros lose, obviously that's great for us. First pitch is low and at the knees, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Spire to Eldridge. 2-0 pitch, another ball there by Gabe Spire. 3-0 pitch, and a 4-pitch walk to Eldridge. Come on, Gabe! Rangers and Astros both lost. Oh, that's great. All right, next up is Casey Schmidt. On deck is Rafael Devers. And for the Pat McAfee lookalike, lock in, Gabe. Again, Bizardo, Spire, and Ferrer, haven't really been as good as we, maybe expected, as far as consistency, but they're definitely better than, Simpson and Rucker and Davila and Hoppy, and it shows you how important, Cooper Criswell, how important Matt Brash, who normally is our number 1 in the pen or number 2, as well as Carlos Vargas. Yeah, he blew a lot of games for us last year, but I'd rather have Vargas than any AAA guy, unless we're talking about Cade Anderson once he gets called up, or Ryan Sloan, but they're not even in AAA yet. But, I definitely was kind of excited to see, Vargas get 95 to 100 miles an hour. And if he can just kind of dial it back a little bit and hit his spots and hit the corners, that could be a really big help, for us, obviously, as we try to make our, postseason run. And we're not going to have access to Brash, Criswell, or Vargas, who hasn't pitched all year, until August. August can't come soon enough. And Schmidt pops up. Randy is there, and that is 2 away. Down goes Schmidt with a fly out to left. Next up is Rafi Deves. On deck is Elliot Ramos. Awesome game yesterday, feeding off the momentum of Cole Young and Julio Rodriguez, and we're doing it again. Same type of thing. First pitch to Devers, high and inside, painting the corner and getting the strike. Four-seam fastball, 0-1 count. Yeah, there's a good chance that we score again. I thought we were going to win the series, if I'm being honest. Just because we lost 7-0 because we didn't have Julio in the lineup, I knew, that if Julio played, that we would have a very good chance of coming back. You can't judge it just based on one game, and it shows you the impact, in that Marlins-Rays series when we didn't have Julio, how bad we played, and we didn't have him in game 1 and got blasted. But since Julio's come back in the lineup, we're going to be potentially 2-0. So it shows, and we don't even need Julio to go 2 for 4, 3 for 4, or 4 for 4 to win. We just need him in center field to make plays, and then hopefully he gets a hit or two, or at least gets on base twice with a walk or a hit, and that's usually good enough, for us to be able to win. Just his presence alone, is a big difference for us. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and Gabe Spire does his job. And then obviously we'll be able to have Mooney come in and close the door and hopefully look good. Here we go, baby. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And that's why you have to, have that blind faith. You can't get negative. Things have gone sideways, and we have to be happy that we're not 15 games below 500. We're not doing as good as we expected, but we've had a lot of things go wrong. Injuries, poor play with Wu and Kirby and Mooney, poor managing by Dan Wilson. The Rob Refsnyder experiment was a disaster. The piggyback thing is a disaster, but again, not having Johnny Pareda over Garver is a disaster, but again, we're still finding ways to get back on track. Next up in the bottom of the 8th inning, 0 for 3 with a K, catcher Mitch Garver. And batting second would have been Weston Wilson, but we had Luke Raley come in, and when he ended up pinch hitting, what did he do? He ends up going for a big solo jack to give us that 4-3 lead. So we got Luke Raley again to see if he can hit his second homer of the day. And then batting third, 1 for 3 with a K, the phenom shortstop Colt Emerson. And I do believe once he figures out the pro game next year, he'll be just like Cole Young. They're going to be a dynamic duo. They're going to be able to hit. They're going to be able to defend. And again, I don't think there's going to be anyone in baseball that's going to have a better second base shortstop prospect duo for many years to come. Facts. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 56 subs to go to 24,500. Gain a couple more subs since the commercial break. Appreciate you. 54 subs to go to 24,500. A few donos away to get to the goal of 100. And let's see where we're at on the likes. Should be over 100 likes by now. And we're at 121. Thank you so much. Now let's see if we can get to 150 before this game is over. 29 to go. And we got 259 in the room, so if we can just get a fraction of those 259 people, 29 of you, to hit the like button, we'll be at 150, which would be great. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats for the best beats on YouTube. Shout out to our female audience, as well as all of our new subs, all of our regulars, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. We are global. First pitch to Mitch Garver is a ball, high and inside, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, and there for a strike. And we don't even need Garver to get a hit to be productive. He can get walked or hit by a pitch as long as he doesn't get hurt, and that's just as good as a single. Patience plus positivity pays off, and it truly does. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss there by Garver. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-3 Mariners. Joseph in the building. What's good? Trident's up. Let's go M's. Haters are always going to hate, but again, since the American League is, down, we have just as good of a chance as the Rays or the Yankees or the White Sox or the Guardians or the Astros or the Rangers to make a deep run. And honestly, I think we match up pretty well with the White Sox and the Guardians. They're pretty similar to us. And we know the Rays and Yankees obviously have the best record in the American League, but that doesn't mean that we can't beat them, and obviously they're going to be a better team once Judge comes back. And I get that, but we have a very good chance to represent the American League this season, even with everything going wrong this year. 3-2 pitch, a little dribbler towards third. And just foul. Trident's up. Let's go M's. '95, '97, 2001, 2025. And, we have a chance to be able to raise quite a few more banners there at T-Mobile. And the next 20 years are going to be so exciting, after going on a 20-year drought with no hope of making the playoffs. There's a good chance in a 20-year span that we could end up making it like 13 times out of 20 years. And out of those 13 times, 1 or 2 might be World Series appearances. Hard hit ball, deep center field. Oh, he can't see the ball. He loses it in the sun. Go, go, go. And Garver with a stand-up double. Wow. Nice job there by Mitch Garver. Nice job by Mitch. You don't really expect a whole lot. And again, lost that in the sun, and we'll take that. Nice job, Mitch. Next up is Luke Raley. Let's see if we get another nuke out of Luke. First pitch, fouls it off, out of play. 0-1 count. 11 hit day for the Mariners. Is that good? Damn right. And again, the Mariners are like life. Things are going to go wrong a lot, and you got to be resilient. You got to be positive. You got to, understand, when things go sideways, how are you going to react? And a lot of people don't react the right way, and it shows, and again, but we're a very resilient bunch, as well as our fan base, and we will always root this team in the most positive way that we can, at least here on the channel. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Hauser to Raley. Let's go, Luke. Two 2-1 pitch from Hauser, and Raley pops it up and fading out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second and no outs. Bottom of the 8th, 6-3 Seattle. Two pitch, and Raley, high fly ball, deep left field, back to the warning track, and caught. And Garver doesn't have enough speed to make it to third, so he pumps the brakes and goes back to second. Smart move, and that is 1 away. All right, next up, in the 9-hole, the phenom, shortstop Colt Emerson. And again, I was waiting years and years for Cole and Colt, to get finally called up. And then once we end up getting Lazaro Montes, Michael Arroyo, that'll be another, positive push for the youth movement. And then obviously Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan, when they're on the team, it's going to be amazing. And a hard hit ball there by Colt. Arises there, throw to first, toe tap on the bag, and that is 2 away as Garver scampers to third. All Or maybe he's still at second. Okay, yeah, he's at third. I was going to say, there's no way he would still be at second base there. All right, next up is J.P. Crawford. Let's see if J.P. can get a RBI or a home run here. First pitch is high and away, 1-0 count, or take the walk. You know, he is our most patient hitter on the team. Let's go, J.P. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Hauser to Crawford. And usually when JP's in a 2-0 count, it turns into a walk, you know, about 90% of the time. Let's see if that ends up being the case here. But obviously the goal is to get into 3-0, 3-1 counts, because that's usually when you can get the RBI and the homer, you know, type of pitch most of the time. 2-0 pitch, high and away. 99% of the Mariner hitters would have swung at that pitch high and away, but not JP. 3 balls and no strikes to JP Crawford. Let's go, JP. And then you got Julio on deck, and you got Cole Young in the 3-hole. Cole Young should be in the 3-hole for the rest of the year, you know, and there is a 3-0 count that turns into, you guessed it, a walk. Runners at first and third now for Julio, and we're going to have a chance to get to 7, 8, 9, or 10 if Julio and Young end up being productive in these 2 at-bats. And again, I like the move of having Dom in the 3-hole, you know, for the time being, but in the last 30 games, he's been a little bit, you know, struggling in the box, batting around 200, and Cole is, you know, our hottest hitter. So to be able to get those additional at-bats for the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Young being in the 3-hole for the rest of the year could be the difference between us, you know, making a huge deep run in the, you know, year or not. And hopefully Dan Wilson and the team is smart enough to keep Cole Young in the 3-hole for the rest of the year. Julio pops up on the first pitch, which is unfortunate, and caught, and that is out number 3. We would have got to Cole Young there with bases loaded. Who knows what would have happened? But we'll get Cole Young. Well, we probably won't be able to see him. I mean, we're up 6-3 right now, so we're at the top of the ninth, so Young's chances of getting an at-bat might be over, but great job by Cole Young and Julio Rodriguez, our dynamic duo. All right, let's go to the top of the ninth. And I assume Andres Munoz should be coming out, and hopefully he'll knock the door down, and we'll be able to win this game and win the series. And then we'll be playing the Cincinnati Reds at 6:40 Pacific against Elliot De La Cruz, one of the most exciting players in baseball, more times than not. All right, next up, 1 for 3 with an RBI and a K, left fielder Elliot Ramos. Batting second, 1 for 3, right fielder, the underrated Jung-Hoo Lee. Good offense and good defensive player. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a run, a baseball ball, and a K. Shortstop in the 7-hole, Willie Adames. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All right, we win today. We're a half game back. Rangers and Astros losing today is what was said in the channel, which is great. All right, Andres Munoz, you'll definitely know if he's on or not within the first 7 pitches. And again, last 11 games, he's been rock solid. After the first 27, he had an ERA of 5.92, and his last 11, it's 0. So that's the Mooney that we all know and love. First pitch right down the middle for a strike. Great start. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, nasty slider. No balls and 2 strikes from Mooney to Ramos. And again, those first, 27 games for Mooney with an ERA of almost 6 was, what happened? You were a top 5 closer, and then you went to being bottom 5. And then now these last 11 games, 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, got him. And he is in the zone. And again, an ERA of 0 in his last 11, which is incredible. And again, there was times where the game was tied or we would have a 1-run lead and he would blow it, and normally the only way that we felt safe if we had a 2-run lead or more. But now with the game usually tied or even up 1, he is now able to get the job done. The grip on the slider was an issue. His mental health and just, up here, the confidence was an issue, but it seems like he's back to being the dominant Andres Munoz that we all know and love. First pitch in there for a strike to Jung-Hoo Lee. He is on. 4 straight strikes here. 0-1 count. Foul back behind the T-Mobile bricks. No balls and 2 strikes from Mooney to Lee. And again, first 5 pitches. Again, when you can get strikes on your first 5, even if something ends up being fouled, off and it's not a hit, that's exactly what you want. To get him in a position to either pop you up, ground you out, or preferably strike you out. 0-2 pitch. Little chopper towards third. JP is there. Throw to first. Got him. Great game by JP Crawford at third today. When he ends up going sidearm, it just makes me cringe because sometimes those throws to Naylor are off a little high or a little low, but today he's been on point. And some of these throws are difficult on the run. Even Donnie would have an issue making some of these throws that JP has made today. Great job by Crawford and good job by Mooney by ducking. 2 away. Awesome. Next up, shortstop Willie Adames. First pitch, big swing and a miss. Triple digits on the radar gun, 100 miles an hour. And this is the version of Mooney that we love. Let's go. And having a dominant closer is going to be really essential, to us making a good, long postseason push. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Mooney ate his Wheaties this morning. That's for damn sure. Another triple digit on the radar, 100 miles an hour, back-to-back 4-seam fastballs. No balls and 2 strikes from Mooney to Adames, who hasn't even thrown a ball yet. Incredible. Where was this Mooney early on? But I'm glad he's here now. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and that's ball game. Yesterday's win was one of the best of the year. Today, it shows you the impact of Julio and Cole Young playing together. And again, we have a dynamic duo, and it feels good. Final score, Mariners 6, Giants 3. After getting blasted 7-0 in Game 1, we not only win 4-3 yesterday after being down 3-0, 3-run jack by Cole Young, sac fly by Julio, winning 4-3 in extras, but then we end up pulling it together, even being down 2-0 early, and we come back and win 6-3, and that is Mariner baseball. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Love it. All right, let's go over the stat line here for both teams. Awesome. Great performance by the M's. And again, the Mariners are just like life, and you're going to face that adversity, but it's how do you react to it? And we definitely have been able to make the adjustments, and it feels good. All right, let's start it off with the Giants. Luis Ariz, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Bryce Eldridge, 1 for 3 with a home run. Casey Schmidt, 1 for 4 with a run. Rafi Devers, 0 for 4. Elio Ramos, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Jung-Hoo Lee, 1 for 4. Willie Adames, 0 for 3 with a run. And the first game that he didn't hit a home run in the first 2 games. Grand Salami in Game 1, and obviously had another one yesterday. Thankfully, he didn't hit one today. Grant McCray, 0 for 2. And Drew Kavanaugh, 0 for 3. And now let's go to our Seattle Mariners. All right, JP Crawford, 1 for 3. Julio Rodriguez in his first game back at center field, 1 for 4 with a run. Great job, Julio. Cole Clutch Young, the best player on the team, 2 for 4 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and a home run. Randy Arozarena, 1 for 4 with a run. Cal Raleigh still struggling, 0 for 4. Got to get it going, Cal. Josh Naylor, 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. This has been one of the better games for Naylor in a minute. Mitch Garver, 1 for 4. Weston Wilson, 1 for 2 with an RBI, believe it or not. Luke Raley, 1 for 2 with a big home run, pinch hitting, which was awesome to give us the 4-3 lead. And Colt Emerson, 1 for 4. And then on top of that, Logan Gilbert, after giving up 3 runs early, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks, 95 pitches, 62 strikes, 3.38 ERA. And right now, him and Bryce Miller are our top 2 pitchers on the squad. Mooney gets the save, which is going to be number 16 on the year, and he has an ERA of 0 in his last 12. That's incredible. After his first 27, he had an ERA of almost 6. So definitely going in the right direction. And Logan Gilbert gets another win to his win total, and now is 8-6 for the Mariners. Great job there by Logan Gilbert. And Hauser ends up getting the loss and goes to 2-6. Let's go, baby. Final score, Mariners 6, Giants 3. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win, Mariners win, Mariners win. What a satisfying win yesterday and today. And not only that, we end up winning the series. And think about it. You know, how many times can you get blasted 7-0 in the first game and then you end up winning games 2 and 3? That does not happen often, but it definitely shows you the impact, you know, of Cole Young and Julio Rodriguez. And again, for a guy that's only in his second year, didn't even play a full season last year in Cole Clutch Young, there is nobody more clutch on the team than Cole Young. And, you know, he's arguably the best player on the team, the biggest bright spot in 2026. And again, we know Hancock and Miller have been bright spots as well, but nobody's been a brighter, you know, bright spot than Cole Clutch Young. And again, we're going to be live tomorrow, 6:40 Pacific versus LA De La Cruz and the Cincinnati Reds. Can't wait for that. Shout out to all the individuals that stepped up, Sean and Rebecca and Dank and Sean again, as well as Chris Christakis with his 3 donos as well. Appreciate all of you. Shout out to Sean for getting mod status as well today. And Cole Clutch Young, what can you say? Him and Julio together, we have a new dynamic duo. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. This win is very satisfying. Definitely will be going on a victory walk with the pup later when it cools down. Enjoy this, Mariner fans, and it's only, you know, things to come. You know, obviously moving forward, things are going to get better and better because we are definitely a second half team. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, we will be live tomorrow, 6:40 Pacific, Mariners versus the Cincinnati Reds. Final score, Mariners 6, Giants 3. And I got one question for you. Who you know talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Tridents up and go Mariners.